What's going on, guys? It's Michael MGF, and today I am finally back doing another analysis video, this time on a new LEGO Marvel Superheroes Summer 2016 set, the Tanker Truck Showdown from Captain America Civil War, the fourth set in the Captain America Civil War lineup, which is pretty awesome because in recent memory, I certainly can't recall a time where LEGO actually put out another set on top of the initial wave for any movie, really. So this is definitely really exciting that this rumor turned out to be true, and obviously the main draw of the set is that we've got our new official minifigure of Hollands Spider-Man and Hawkeye as well, along with Vision and Captain America included with this Roxxon tanker truck. So this looks like a really cool set, and for 30 bucks, I think this is definitely going to be worth it. But overall, the set does look really awesome, and again, for 30 bucks, this is something I think all of us are definitely going to have to pick up. But yeah, so this is my first time ever doing an analysis on just one single set, I think. So this is certainly different and going to be fairly quick. So let's get started. Alright, so these two pictures came from Jacob9821 on Eurobricks, and while they may not be the greatest quality in the world, it's definitely more than enough for me to work with in this analysis, but unfortunately not enough for decent thumbnails. That's why I may or may not have used my own Spider-Man for that. But yeah, so speaking of Spider-Man, Hollands Spider-Man making his debut as an official LEGO minifigure in this set. I gotta say, it almost seems like this set is just an excuse to have Spidey. And that's not me bashing the set. That's just like an observation, because pretty much every toy company ever couldn't make Spider-Man for their first line of products for Civil War. They had to wait until around obviously the fall, and so I think this is fine. It's just kind of funny because the Hawkeye figure, the new Hawkeye, while it's okay, it's not that great. And then Vision and then Cap, there's nothing new going on with them. So Spider-Man is just the go-to figure out of everyone in this set. He's the draw character. He stands out, and it's almost like the set is obviously built around him, but that's totally okay because the minifigure looks awesome. The minifigure, I mean, you really can't see the whole thing, but if you look, the figure does have a pretty sweet torso design, and a lot of you are asking, why did LEGO print it onto a bright red torso? And to be honest, I would expect that it's because if you remember the Spider-Man minifigure from the Ultimate Spider-Man TV series, that variant of Spider-Man, I mean, the red printed on the blue wasn't exactly matching the red plastic color for the rest of the minifigure, and that's something that I'm guessing maybe LEGO noticed and decided they wanted to, finally put an end to with the Hollands Spidey. I mean, other than that, though, I don't really have any other guesses. It doesn't really look that bad to me, though, and he does have, you might notice that he does not only have the double molded boots, but he does also have leg printing, like on the boots, on the front there, like the black strip that Spidey has toward the top of his boots. That is printed on the front, and that is super cool. That's a nice detail to have, but also he has arm printing. Thank God they gave him arm printing, because when I was working on my Spider-Man figure, yeah, he looked pretty weird until I started to paint the rest of the red and the webbing on. So I'm really glad they didn't just do dark blue arms, and he does have arm printing. That is such a great addition to the minifigure. From what we can see, the design on the front of his mask looks great. We don't really have any shots of the back, but overall, I mean, the fact that we even get the new webbing piece for Spidey, I mean, this looks like the best Spider-Man minifigure ever, hands down, and I really cannot wait for it. Then you might notice the other two minifigures, as I already mentioned, Captain America and Vision, are just the rehashes from Age of Ultron, and it's kind of disappointing because at this point, I don't know when we're going to get a new Captain America head. I don't know when they're going to fix the skin tone problem, but I'm still just kind of surprised that they didn't at least print a new torso by now, because it's understandable for the first line of sets why that might have happened, but for the second wave now following the movie, you'd think that they would have printed a new design by now, removing the additional blue that you might notice he doesn't have in the movie, as opposed to when he did have it in Age of Ultron. Did I say removing the additional blue? I meant removing the additional red from the Age of Ultron design. But yeah, so Vision, he doesn't change. His body is pretty much the same in Civil War. There's barely a difference, and so it's understandable why they would have just gone with the same exact minifigure from Age of Ultron. But the real disappointment here has to be Hawkeye, because while at first I saw this picture and I was like, oh, that Hawkeye actually looks pretty sweet, And then I looked a little closer and realized only the torso and legs are decent, and I guess that amounts for the majority of the figure. So I mean, while the majority of the figure is good, and it's just, you look at the head. And you guys probably know how I'm not, I'm not the biggest endorser of reusing heads from, from other superhero franchises, or from, for instance, like Chris Pratt's head, being used, Star-Lord's head being used for Bucky. That's something that I think is ridiculous, because those are two characters played by two separate actors, two characters that exist in the same universe. Doesn't add up. But now Lego has, it's gotten worse. Now we've got Captain America's face on Hawkeye, guys. They gave Clint Barton Steve Rogers' face from the Black Panther Pursuit. So now we literally have the same face being shared by two entirely separate characters from the same movie. For the love of God, Lego, how, why... What is that? That is just that's just bad quality. I'm sorry, I just don't see any excuse for that. You print an entirely new face for Captain America in the Black Panther Pursuit only to give it to Hawkeye as well. It doesn't look right. The Age of Ultron head was fine. There's no reason for this. It's just like Rhodey from the airport battle. They stopped printing the Rhodey design, and instead, because I guess they had the cyborg heads on the production line from Lego Dimensions, they were just like, okay, give Rhodey the cyborg head. But now it's worse because they gave Hawkeye Cap's head. I mean, this is not like a superhero from DC. Please, I could go on like a 10-minute rant about rehashing faces, but I mean, usually I'm okay with it if it's done right, but for the love of God, this is the worst example I've ever seen. This is bad. So anyway, he's got the sleepy hair, same bow. There's not much else to say. He's got one fleshy arm, so there's that. And then the Roxxon Oil Tanker is pretty sweet. Roxxon, they've had the oil company's had a pretty significant presence in the MCU, kind of as this background figure, and so to actually have like a full set based around it here it's pretty cool. And you'll notice that before we even cover the oil tanker, Hawkeye does have his own purple motorcycle with an Avengers symbol on the front. I mean, he never had that in the movie. It's a cool little playability feature they have placed in this set. I'm not sure if that Avengers symbol is a sticker or not. I'm guessing if I were to guess, it's probably printed, but don't quote me on that. And so yeah, aside from that though, the oil tanker, getting back on that, you'll notice that the Roxxon logo is I'm guessing that's a sticker right off to the side there on the very back end of it. And the main playability function of this set is there's a knob on the side, and there's a sticker on top of that as well. And if you turn that, the entire top half of the oil tank just flies open, and it reveals a bunch of flames. I'm guessing by use of some basic Technic mechanisms inside there, those flames are attached to that knob, and they rotate with it to knock off the top half of the oil tanker. So I mean, that looks pretty cool. It's got a basic connector piece for the connecting the actual truck to the rest of the oil tanker. So there's that. And yeah, then it looks like there's room for maybe one minifigure inside the driver's seat there, and there's a little sticker for the license plate on the front. And then you do also have a couple oil canisters that have the Roxxon logo stickered on them as well. A couple little fire pieces with some 2x2 trans orange discs to attach those fire pieces into. A fire extinguisher, because you cannot go a single superhero set without having one of those. And yeah, so then you have another little accessory off to the side there with basically it's just like another airport accessory. This set I think really does fit in well with the superhero airport battle. So if you were to get the airport battle, or if you have it already and then you take this set and then just put them together, I think it would make for a really awesome combination. And I think that's what this set is clearly designed for, if I were to guess. And then super jumpers are still not extinct, unfortunately. They're still a thing, and they're still going to be tearing up your minifigure legs, because there's one in this set as well. So yeah, that's not cool. And the reason I didn't actually refer to the other accessory in this set as anything other than an airport accessory or whatever I just said a second ago, I don't remember what those are called, but it's in this set and it looks fairly decent. It's got a basic connector piece toward the bottom there. I'm guessing that pretty much allows for like some basic playability feature where you can obviously see on the box art that the Roxxon, like the oil canisters are on it, and then you notice in the product photo they're not. So I'm guessing you push that whole thing down, and then the oil canisters fly, and it's just a basic little playability function, and that's pretty cool. But I mean, aside from that, that's really it for the tanker truck takedown. It definitely looks like a really cool set. I'm definitely digging everything that is going on in this set aside from Hawkeye's face. So I mean, it's definitely really exciting. Spider-Man obviously being the #1 reason we are all going to buy this set, and I cannot wait to finally get my hands on it and honestly see it in better detail, because you can't really fully judge the minifigure until we can see it in some in better quality, because it's kind of like Ahsoka in the new Star Wars sets. We just got a picture of Ahsoka. She's gonna be up in she's gonna be in one of the new Rebel sets. One of the, I forget, it's like something like I don't. Anyway, you can't really see the minifigure in that set, of Ahsoka, so I'm kind of curious what this will end up looking like in greater detail. So, yeah, aside from that, I'm going to go and finally wrap up this video because I am running out of ability to talk. Yeah, okay. Alright guys, and there you go, the analysis on the 4th Civil War set. I'm super surprised that LEGO finally stepped outside the box and decided to make a set for a movie even after their main wave of products for it, because again, I can't recall a time where they have done this. So for me, based on what I can remember, this is a first, and pretty awesome. So yeah, and thank you so much for sticking around for that whole thing. My first time doing an analysis on just one single set, even though I still managed to talk about it for 10 minutes, so there's that. And also, before I go, I do want to update you guys on some other analysis videos that I did not do. And obviously now the Star Wars sets, like the new Turbo Tank, the ATTE, the Unkar Plut set, the X-Wing, all of those sets are finally starting to drop here in the US already in May. So that's pretty awesome, and just like, last May, I'm sure they're going to hit Toys R Us's and Targets slowly with their street dates, and it's going to be super fun. But I never did an analysis on those sets, and I do want to apologize for that. But these past couple months, man, with Batman vs. Superman, and then everything I did for that Civil War showcase this past month, I've had no time to make any other videos in between up until now. So while I was working on the Civil War figures, I thought I'd be able to take a day or two, stop what I was doing, and do an analysis on the Star Wars sets, and it just never happened. So I apologize for that, but you can definitely look forward to some reviews on those sets once I get my hands on them, even though I can't guarantee which sets I will and will not review. So yeah, there's that, and if you do want to stay up to date, you can definitely follow me on the Twitter and the Bookface and the Instagrams. Links to all three of those are always down in the description below, and there I've been posting all kinds of super cool photos of my Civil War minifigures even after the movie has come out, and my showcase is already live, and I'm going to be doing my first preview photo of Zoom, and because I finally started to work on him some more from The Flash. Him and Jay Garrick both getting their own showcase, hopefully before the end of the month, and sometime before the 24th, when I believe the season finale for Season 2 airs, and so there's that. And I also do have my first preview photo for Crossbones up on there, and I'm doing Zemo and Sharon Carter, Agent 13 as well. Three more Civil War minifigures for their own spin-off showcase, so you'll see all of that over there before you see it over here, and that's why I always recommend that stuff, guys. And yeah, but other than that, if you enjoyed this I almost said showcase, if you enjoyed this analysis video and maybe found it informative, or if this helped you in deciding as to whether or not you plan on picking up the set, then be sure to let me know, guys, by dropping this video a like below, and or your opinion or anything I might have missed down in the comments. It always means a lot, guys, and always goes a long way. So yeah, I think that's it for this video, though. I'm going to get back to work on Zoom and other stuff. And also, I want to mention the X-Men Apocalypse Showcase is going to be late, and that's not going to come out until sometime like around, until like late June, unfortunately. So yeah, figure out to throw that in. Kind of some bad news. So yeah, I'm going to go. Okay, bye! The tanker truck takedown. I almost said showdown because every set ends with showdown. Gosh damn it. For the longest time, this set was rumored to Hawkeye Yeah, I'm covering him first, and I don't know why. I should be talking about Spider-Man. Gosh damn it. Getting Vision, you know, aside from the Quinjet.